Hello there.
Hello and welcome back to the D-COT disCast. It is finally Friday. I'm your host Steve, and today is February 10th, 2023. Push those earbuds in a little more or turn up the volume in your car because we have some great stuff for you today. We're talking about 7,000 cast members at Disney are losing their jobs. Another new meet and greet at Disney's Hollywood Studios. CEO Bob Iger threw down some Q1 earnings. Disney Plus takes a dive. And the 2023 EPCOT Flower and Garden Festival Garden Rocks concert series, and more. This past Tuesday, Disney's Riviera Resort in Florida closed their front entrance due to a leak in the ceiling. Cast members said there was a, quote, a technical issue with the system, end quote. Earlier in the day, guests and cast members were evacuated from Disney's Riviera Resort due to a fire alarm being triggered. The all clear was given and people were allowed back into the resort with the entrance remaining closed and a brand new fountain fixture in the front lobby. Earlier this week, I mentioned that Disney's Hollywood Studios rolled out a number of new character meet and greet opportunities, including Goofy and Max on Grand Avenue and Mr. and Mrs. Incredible at Echo Lake. I have news that another meet and greet is coming. Starting February 15th, Chip and Dale will join up as the Rescue Rangers. These two will meet at the Adventure Outpost next to the Indiana Jones Epic Stunt Spectacular. Disney has also noted that this meet and greet is continual with no posted end date. Freaking awesome! Today in Disney history. On February 10th, 1935, our favorite duck, Mr. Donald, made his first appearance in the Mickey Mouse Sunday Edition comic strip. In 2007, Kim Possible, the hit animated comedy/action/adventure series from Walt Disney Television Animation, premiered its 4th season with 4 new episodes on Disney Channel. Bob Iger announced a few items during the Q1 2023 earnings call. I'm going to mention just some of the big ones here that a lot of people were talking about. So Mr. Iger shared that, quote, it's clear that some of our pricing initiatives were alienating to customers, end quote. Iger also shared, quote, I've always believed that accessibility is a core value of the Disney brand, end quote. But he shared that Disney was, quote, not perceived to be as accessible or as affordable to many segments as we probably should have been. So after basically paying heed to what we were hearing, we started to address it, end quote. Great to hear that, Mr. Iger. Yes. Disney has become pretty much unaffordable for most people, so I'm glad you're realizing that after 2 years of price hikes. Anyway, it's nice to see that it was acknowledged, but is anything going to be done about it? That is the $1,000,000 question. Iger also said they have sequels in the works to Pixar's Toy Story, plus the spin-off Lightyear. Frozen 3 by Walt Disney Animation Studios would be the studio's first threequel, and there's going to be a Zootopia sequel, which likely means that the reimagining of Dinoland USA at Disney's Animal Kingdom to a dedicated Zootopia land is closer to being a realized plan. Does this mean that the dinosaur attraction might see a closing date as well? So going back to the Zootopia sequel, it was leaked that the sequel to Zootopia is not going to be called Zootopia 2, but instead Zootopia Plus, and you have to pay $15 each day you watch it, similar to Genie Plus. The pricing is dynamic, so be aware that on peak days it could go up to $29 a day.
Does this make you uncomfortable? Because if so, there's no shame in calling it quits.
Reversing back even more for some Toy Story 5, here are some funny tweets of what people were talking about today around Toy Story 5. At Jordan A. Hill says, Toy Story 5 will be the emotional send-off for a fan-favorite character, the hockey puck. At K. Dizzy for Shizzy says, why on earth is there a Toy Story 5? Well, that's a good question. At Ranking the Mouse says, it really doesn't make any sense. Like, whose story are they going to follow? Like Woody and Buzz? Or Buzz and Jessie and Bonnie? All right, next, there is an initiative to cut costs across the Walt Disney Company to save around $5.5 billion, and as a result, the company will be cutting around 7,000 jobs. What the Disney, really? How about you cut the costs of the salaries of your board members? Or how about you cut the costs of those making millions? Your C-suite, perhaps?
You know, that really grinds my gears.
In an email to cast members, Josh D'Amaro said workforce reductions will impact every segment across the company, including parks, experiences, and products. However, he said the company does not expect it to impact hourly frontline roles in operations. Well, that's great news because they, in my opinion, work the hardest. The big reason for this cut, though, is because of the entertainment side of Disney. And speaking of which, Disney Plus is losing subscribers. So I canceled my subscription when it was up last November. Disney's streaming business as a whole had a loss of nearly $1.5 billion. The total number of Disney Plus subscribers is now 161.8 million, where back in November of 2022, that number was 164.2 million. Are you a current Disney Plus subscriber, or did you cancel your service like I did? An Avatar experience will be coming to Disneyland Resort. There are no further details about what this experience could involve, but Iger did not call it a new land. We already have a World of Avatar at Disney World, so I doubt they'll make this a land, but you never know. But there's not enough room, right? I mean, maybe they'll shove some avatars inside Toontown? Dining packages for the 2023 EPCOT Flower and Garden Festival Garden Rocks concert series are available now to book. They opened up yesterday, so if you want to enjoy the Garden Rocks concert series dining package, you better make a phone call or get on the website now. During this concert series, popular bands from throughout the decades perform at the American Gardens Theater in the American Adventure Pavilion. Show times are at 5:30 p.m., 6:45 p.m., and 8 p.m. throughout the festival. The dining packages combine a meal at select EPCOT restaurants with guaranteed seating for a concert on that day. But Spice Road Table is an exception. Other than that, each dining package includes a meal with an appetizer, entree, and dessert, or one full buffet or family-style meal, depending on the restaurant, and one non-alcoholic beverage. The dining package also guarantees you a seat, one seat per person, at a Garden Rocks concert on the same day. Take note that dining packages are not offered on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, or Thursdays. Also make a note here that if you're seeing a 5:30 show, or whatever time show you're seeing, they're going to make a dining reservation for about 2 hours to 2.5 hours before the concert series. So if you make a reservation at 8 o'clock p.m., your dining reservation is going to be probably somewhere around 6 o'clock, 6:30. So make note of that as you're planning this out. Remember a few discasts back when I mentioned how Disney mucked up the quote found under the Disney 100 Platinum Mickey statue at Disneyland Park? Yeah. Well, okay, the quote stated, if you don't remember this, I'll refresh your memory here. The quote stated, "It all started with a mouse." The actual quote should be, "It was all started by a mouse." Disney finally understood this mistake after multiple guest complaints and social media mockery and removed the statue. That's right. Yesterday, Mickey Mouse was nowhere to be seen. I saw some tweets stating stuff like, "That's a really hard hidden Mickey." That's a really, really well done hidden Mickey. Most likely what I'm thinking that they're doing is fixing the quote, and we'll put him back. And then once they put him back, all the guests will see the new quote, right? The quote will say, "Show me the money." Disney has shared a first look at Moon Girl, who will be coming to Disney California Adventure starting February 15th. Here's the announcement. For a limited time, beginning February 15th at Hollywoodland in Disney California Adventure Park, you can encounter and interact with Moon Girl from the newest Disney series, Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur, which debuts today on the Disney Channel, and February 15th on Disney+. The series follows the adventures of a 13-year-old super genius, Lunenia Lafayette, aka Moon Girl, and her 10-ton T-Rex Devil Dinosaur, whom she accidentally brings into present-day New York City. Whoopsies! The duo works together to protect the Lower East Side neighborhood in New York City from danger. They don't want to worry about the Upper East Side, just the Lower East Side. So if you're in the Upper East Side, sorry, you don't get any Moon Girl protection. Well, that's it for today's D-COT discast. We hope you have a magical weekend ahead of you. Man, 2 full days to do whatever you need to do and enjoy it and make your own sunshine. And we'll be back here with you on Monday, February 13th.
Thank you!